Oh my god, Blink-182 have gone and done it. I wasn't sure what to expect, but I cried like a little baby when I listened to this, and I mistakenly listened to this right before I had to leave to go to work, and I was just sobbing, blubbering. You know what I mean? The first lines of this song, from strangers into brothers, from brothers back to strangers, I was like, oh my god, I'm about to cry, aren't I? And then this song, this Blink-182 song, this one song called One More Time kept going, and every line I kept getting more and more emotional, okay? And today, I'm going to talk about it a little bit. I'm going to talk about the two new songs that these guys have dropped, and they set the bar pretty high for this record that's about to come out. Hey, how's it going? My name is Dan Frampton. Please pop a like, give a subscribe. You can always take them back later if you want, okay? If you're like, hey, this content kind of sucked and I'm going to take back that like, please and thank you, go ahead and do that. But if you really enjoy the content and you want to become a member of the secret society, hit that join button. Okay, let's talk about this Blink-182 song, One More Time. Now this track is going to be the title track to the record, and it was a really good idea to put it out right away with the themes that are in this song. It took a plane crash, it took cancer, it took a bunch of aliens almost destroying this band for this band to get back together and realize what is important in life, okay? And all of that stuff is articulated so well and so emotionally in this song. Now this song is kind of like an acoustic little cut. You got some nice little snare rolls and a tight little bass line holding this stuff all together. But when Mark and Tom trade back verses about what this means to them, and they're doing it together on the stage after all this history, it's crazy how much weight this stuff has. And they know how much weight it has, and they're delivering it flawlessly. They know the magnitude of this event. They know what it took for this band to get there. And like I said, back in 2008 or so, Travis was in this plane accident that nearly killed him. And in 2021, Mark Hoppus was diagnosed with cancer. So these near-death experiences made Tom realize, oh my god, everything is just so fleeting. And you know what like near-death experiences can do? They can really make you realize what's important to you. And these guys were just fortunate enough to be able to like reconcile differences, to be able to do this one more time. And I think that is huge. And me personally, I can relate to that on a gigantic level. If you're familiar with my story, I was in a devastatingly tragic car accident that took my drummer, that took my brother away from me, and I don't have that opportunity to do this one more time. And maybe that's why I was just like in heaps crying. From strangers into brothers and brothers back to strangers and then strangers back into brothers. Like that's just not the arc that I could ever live, you know what I mean? So to see these guys do that and then them understand how big that is and how fortunate they are, you know what I mean, to be able to do this with one another, I think that it is I don't know, otherworldly. I hate to use an alien metaphor or whatever, but they really knocked it out of the park with this one. And they normally do one acoustic kind of emotional cut per record ever since Enema of the State. You know, you got Adam's song, and I can go on with all the other ones or whatever. I don't want to be saddled with all that emotion when taking in some Blink-182, but when they want to get that out, I'm glad that they do, and I'm glad that they do it so well and it's received so immaculately, okay? Now, I haven't watched any other reviews to this. I just saw a couple thumbnails, and it seems to be the unanimous kind of talking point that this is a tearjerker. This is very, very sad, emotional stuff. So I'm glad that I don't feel like a weirdo, that I was like a grown man crying my face off, all right, to a Blink-182 song in my late 30s, okay? Even though it might have been a little bit intense. You know, it still probably was a little bit embarrassing, but I'm here to say that that's the kind of impact that that song had on me. And the video, oh my god, I haven't even talked about the video yet. Okay, it's just these three dudes playing the songs, and while the backgrounds just change to all their iconic sets from all their amazing music videos throughout history, it just took you through that nostalgia, and it just makes you feel, yes, you guys started as babies, you did this whole story, you took over the world, and now you're back here taking over the world again. It is actually so artistically well articulated and immaculate. I know I used those words a bunch in this video. Blink-182 performed artistry on this track, and they're making you feel emotions, okay? And that's what art makes you do. Art makes you feel things, and I was in heaps just feeling all sorts of things, okay? So for whatever reason you haven't heard the new Blink-182 song, One More Time, the official video is out, you should go check it out. But they also put out one more song alongside this, and this is a song called More Than You Know, and it's not quite as emotional. It's a little bit more hard-hitting. It's a little bit more punk rock flavored, okay? And this is kind of the sound that I'm expecting throughout the rest of the record, where it's just vaguely punk rock enough that you can call it pop punk or whatever, but it sounds pretty good. Mark's voice is not the greatest, I will tell you that right away, but then when Tom's voice comes in, oh, boys, sounding good, sounding great. There's a lot of potential on this record for sure. I'm actually pretty hyped for this drop, and we're looking at an October 20th release date on this thing. So that's pretty sick. I'll be back for a full breakdown of this thing. Now, I don't know if I'll do a review of this. I don't know if I'm going to be throwing any stars at this thing right away, because the emotion I know is going to have to like sit with me a little bit, and then I'm going to have to think about it like intellectually, and then put all of that together. My heart feels and my brain feels, and then come up with a number. So I don't know if I'll be able to give these tracks a number yet, because they're still just stewing around in my brain. I haven't even had a second to like sit down and talk about them, think about them yet until right now, and it's been over 24 hours since I heard this song. So with all that being said, is Travis still an enemy of mine? I know that is going to be a question burning in your head. You know what I mean? And I don't know, dude. I don't know. I'm invested in this story now, and the fact that they're kind of knocking it out of the park is making me kind of root for him. Now, I don't know if I'm ever going to be best friends with him. You know what I mean? I disagree with this guy around every single lifestyle choice that he makes, you know? But I'm just going to have to maybe just let that ride, you know? Because what he's doing right now is actually pretty sick. And apparently, now, from what I read, Travis Barker is the guy producing these songs. And that's crazy, and if that's true and this record is great, then I'm gonna have to give this guy some flowers, okay? I'm gonna have to be like, Travis Barker, here's a rose, here's a daffodil, all right, here's a daisy or something, you know what I mean? Here's a Delilah. Is it Delilah? Or is that just I don't know, flowers, okay? But anyway, I'm gonna have to give him a whole bunch of them. Did you hear the new Blink-182 stuff? Sound off down below. If you enjoyed this video, don't take that like away. Leave that like right where you left it, okay? Join the secret society, and until my next upload, you can watch these other uploads. Okay. See you later.